Hello everyone, welcome to Money 9. Today we'll talk about health insurance and COVID. So if you're specifically looking for a health plan for COVID coverage, then this video will give you great insights. On Money Masterclass, we are joined by Ravi Vishwanath. He is President, Accident and Health Business at HDFC ERGO General Insurance. Welcome, Mr. Vishwanath. Let's talk about recently recovered COVID patients. So if they approach you for a health plan, then what's the procedure? What sort of questions do you ask while underwriting the policy?
So patients who have recovered from COVID are more than welcome to apply for health insurance. We don't have anything specific or different that we do. The only thing we ask is to make sure that they have recovered from COVID. And as long as they've recovered from COVID, they're welcome to apply for insurance.
Okay, so I believe there are some insurers which have a waiting period of sort. That if you have recently recovered, then you have to live through this waiting period. Only then you can apply for a new health plan. Is that so with HDFC ERGO also?
No. So when we have our existing plans in any case, as with almost every insurance company, there is a 30-day waiting period during which only accidental claims are covered. And beyond that, you have full coverage. Same thing applies for anybody who is recovered from COVID. So there's nothing specific or additional for COVID patients.
Okay, so if someone has recovered last week and then they apply for it, then they won't face any challenges in buying the policy. That's what you're saying.
No, they will have no challenge. I mean, as long as they have recovered and they're able to demonstrate they've recovered, they're eligible to buy the policy. There will be a 30-day waiting period for any health-related claims, as it is for any other policy.
Okay, right. And now once they have bought the policy, then for COVID coverage, how long is the waiting period then? From day one, will it be covered or?
So, great question. So there are a couple of products that are COVID-specific. So Corona coverage, for example, is the most common COVID-specific policy. In that, there is a waiting period of 15 days. For other policies which also cover COVID, the typical waiting period is 7 days.
So even for non-COVID policies, as in not COVID-specific policies, talking about a comprehensive plan. So when then?
So like Optima Secure, which is our newest flagship product, Optima Restore, Health Suraksha, these are our top-selling products. All of them cover COVID after 30 days.
Okay, and industry, and what's the industry practice?
I believe that is the industry practice.
Okay, so it's about, and if someone has to get COVID coverage from day one, so are there some riders or maybe paying extra premium and then they can have it from day one? Are there such facilities available for them?
Not from us, and I'm not aware of such a facility in the market, but in our policies, there would be a 15 or 30-day waiting period, depending on the product that you choose.
So what are some key features that a health plan, an ideal health plan should have if keeping in view COVID hospitalization? If someone gets hospitalized due to COVID, then what are some key features that a ideal health plan should have?
I think that's a great question. And, we've recently launched a new flagship product called Optima Secure. And this product was actually based on some of the insights we got from customers. So what customers told us that they look for, that is very important to them right now with COVID. First and most important is to make sure that there is enough coverage for themselves and their family. What a lot of people saw was that they had coverage, but the coverage was not enough, especially if they have a family floater coverage and multiple people get COVID in the family, then the policy runs out. So one is there has to be enough coverage in the policy. The second thing that people did look at, which was a bit of a challenge for some people, is that non-medical expenses typically were not covered in policies. And, therefore people found that when they were leaving hospital, they had to pay some money from their pocket because non-medical expenses typically were not covered in policies. The third thing, of course,
we are talking about consumables here?
We're talking about, exactly, consumables. So the first thing was make sure there's enough coverage for them and their family. The second was, consumables came as a surprise to some people. And the third was that the product has to have value for money. And I think that these same three things were the top most important things to customers. And it's those three problems that we are solving with Optima Secure, our new flagship health insurance policy.
All right. So people should have enough adequate health cover. Then they should have a policy that offers them consumable coverage. For example, PPE kits and sanitizers and hand gloves. So all these things are usually deducted from medical expenses. So a policy should have these coverage. And the third thing that you mentioned, which is that?
Value for money.
Okay. So now talking about Optima Secure. We recently launched a policy and it has an inbuilt feature for consumable coverage. But if you talk about other insurance companies, usually they have it available as a rider. So you have to buy it, you have to pay extra premium and then it comes. So tell us the idea behind launching Optima Secure and its benefits. What are the features that this plan has? What is distinct about it?
Sure. So Optima Secure was launched exactly to solve the three problems that we talked about, making sure people have enough coverage. Secondly, making sure they don't have issues with consumables and that they get great value for money. So as you said, our product has got consumables coverage built into it, right? We also have a rider where people can buy this coverage. And what we see is that, while we offer it to customers, sometimes customers may not choose it because, they for whatever reason don't choose it. And so we thought that it was important because this is such a pain point that we just build it in directly into the product so that every customer gets this automatically. That's all. Secondly, when you think about making sure people have enough coverage, the great thing about Optima Secure, if I was to explain it in one sentence, is that if you stay with the policy for 2 years, you get 4 times your base coverage guarantee at no additional charge. So if you buy a 10 lakh rupee policy, immediately, the moment you buy it, we add another 10 lakhs on top. So you have now 20 lakhs of coverage. Stay with the policy for 2 years, and that 20 lakhs becomes 30 lakhs. And then we have a 10 lakh, which is your base coverage as a restore benefit in case you finish up all these coverages. So you get 40 lakhs of coverage and you pay premium for 10 lakhs, and it has the consumables coverage built into it. So, we say that it offers so much coverage at a fantastic price. We also have some very unique premium saving options in it. So to give you an example, one of the things that a lot of customers told us is that you're covering consumables, which is great. So now I know that I'm getting all my money paid if I go to a hospital, but I'm willing to pay a little bit from my pocket if you give me a discounted return. And so in Optima Secure, we have a value buy option where, for example, if you choose to pay the first 25,000 rupees, which most people can pay, and they have cash, they have access to a credit card. So if they ever have a claim, they pay the first 25,000 rupees from their pocket, and we give them a 25% discount for every year of the policy. So, again, just to solve those three problems the customers have. I don't want to run out of coverage. Optima Secure gives you 4x the coverage at no additional charge, and it's guaranteed. Even if you have a claim, your coverage will go up. Second is people want to be sure that they don't get surprises with consumables. Consumables coverage built into the policy. Great value for money. It's already very attractively priced. But if you agree to pay 25,000 rupees of any claim that you may have at any time in the future, we give you a 25% discount for every year that you have the policy. So it's fantastic value for money as well. And the product was really, came up from customers' voice and the problems that the customers said they face when they think about health insurance. And that's what we've tried to solve with this product.
And what's the premium differential between Optima Secure and Optima Prima, which is your flagship product so far?
Optima Restore. Optima Restore is our flagship product. It varies, because by age and by sum assured, what we've been really focused on is on value and making sure the customers have value. So there are many instances, for example, that you get the 4 times extra coverage. And for example, if you take the value buy option and take the 25% deductible, the premium actually would even be lower than Optima. So it's an amazing value for customers. We've been very excited to bring it to the market, and the early response. It's only been in the market for a few weeks. The early response has been absolutely phenomenal. Customers love it. I think it takes people a little bit of time to believe that itna coverage mil sakta hai. But once they really understand it and they understand there is no fine print, the increase in coverage is guaranteed. they love it, and they know that they're getting great value for money. Plus, of course, the trust, because they're buying a product from HDFC ERGO, which is synonymous with trust.
Okay. And which is the segment, who are the target audience for whom this will not suit? So not suitable for people. If you can suggest that these.
Sure.
This
I mean, this product. So this product is not exactly suitable for senior citizens. The maximum age of entry is 65. We have other fantastic products for senior citizens. We have our Health Suraksha product. We have Optima Senior. So we have great solutions for senior citizens. But Optima Secure is not meant for senior citizens. It's meant for people who are less than 65 when they enter. Of course, once anybody enters the product, then we guarantee lifelong renewals. As long as they keep paying their premium, they'll be covered for life. But the entry age is 65 in Optima Secure.
Okay. And what are some key exclusions that people should know about when they are buying?
The exclusions are standard exclusions. And in fact, what we have done is maybe go a little bit beyond. You will see products, for example, that while they have a standard list of exclusions, which are now more or less standardized across industry thanks to our regulator who've done a fantastic job with this. But there will be products where there may be sublimits internally, right? So one of the things that we're very clear about in this product is not to have sublimits. So you see products, for example, where there is a sublimit for ambulances. And we saw that during COVID, the cost of ambulances was much higher than what people were paying for. And so we have no sublimits in this, right? So whatever the actual cost is, that's what we will pay. Similarly, when it comes to things like modern surgery, there are robotic surgeries and new ways of treating, which are, much better outcome, much less pain for the customer, but can be very expensive. There are many products that offer the coverage, but then they have sublimits, saying we'll only pay up to so much. Again, we want to, one reason that people come to us is they want access to the best possible healthcare for themselves and their family. And so we have removed any such sublimits. So in the example of somebody who's got 1 crore, who buys a 1 crore policy, which is effectively 4 crores of coverage, up to 4 crores we will pay for, modern treatment or robotic surgeries and things. There are no sublimits.
There is general perception that insurance companies do not settle claim. And if we talk about second wave of COVID experience in April and May, a lot of people complained that insurance companies are not settling claims. And even if they are, then the percentage, maybe they have a coverage of 10 lakh, then only 2 or 3 lakh or 4 lakh have been settled. So why this happened during those days? And what should people do that they are better prepared at claim settlement?
So a couple of things. I think it's unfortunate that there is this perception that insurance companies have not paid claims. You would have seen the numbers. Amount of claims that insurance companies have paid during COVID is absolutely phenomenal. Even for ourselves, for example, you were talking about wave 2. We paid more in wave 2 in 3 months than we paid all of last year. And this is sort of in line with what the industry will see. So the industry has been paying. From HDFC's ERGO's perspective, which is what I want to speak about, we have been focused only on one thing, which is paying claims correctly and paying claims fast. And you can look at the statistics and you can see where we are in the league tables of percentage of claims paid, to the amount that we received, and you'll see that we're kind of up there without getting into the specifics. That's one thing. But to your question about what people can do, I think an important issue that people must understand, and it's part of the policy that they have bought, is the whole issue of consumables. That's where we've seen that there have been concerns with customers in terms of what is paid, what is not paid, and that's the reason why in Optima Secure we decided that we would just build it into the policy, so that God forbid there is a way to think, we all hope there will not be. But if we have another surge in claims, customers who've got Optima Secure, consumables are covered in the policy. And so one major pain point that people may have had generally also goes away.
Okay, and share some instances that you experienced during those days that these were the reasons why policies claims got rejected. So some key reasons why claims got rejected back then. So maybe
it could be for a few reasons. There are certain products, for example, which which covers specific diseases only. And COVID is not one of those named diseases. In that case, we would unfortunately not be able to pay the claim, obviously. Similarly, there were customers who would not have an active line of treatment. And I think some of those customers, not only us, but generally, the policy would not respond to those. It's a hospitalisation policy. And so if you don't have an active line of treatment, if you are feeling a little weak and take a crocin and sit at home, the policy will not respond to it, right? So it's those kind of things, and then consumables. I think these have been some of the main things that I have seen, where we've had to support our customers. But otherwise, by and large, customers have been paid their claims. We take pride in making sure that we do the pre-authorizations, well within the 60 minutes that's prescribed by the regulator. We make sure that we pay our claims as soon as we can, because we know it's a difficult time for customers. So that's what we are focused on, to make sure that we pay claims quickly and correctly.
Okay. And sometimes when people are buying policies, then they also hide their pre-existing diseases, and maybe the policies, the people who are selling them policies, they themselves are not aware of it, or they have not informed them about it. So give us a gist of key points that people should follow when they are buying the policy, and all disclosures that are mandatory to disclose to the insurance company, and probably that will make them better placed at claim settlement.
Frankly, I think the answer to the question is in the question itself, which is just make sure that you declare everything upfront, right? In Optima Secure, for example, what we have done is we have just reduced the health questions to 6 questions written in absolutely plain English language. It's very easy to understand what the question is. It doesn't have medical jargon and things like this. Go through the questions, make sure that you answer the questions completely and truthfully.
And talking about COVID-specific policies, so Corona Rakshak and Corona Kavach, these policies were launched in 2020, around July 2020. So, and I believe these will stay existed till September 2021. So, give us the difference between these policies from comprehensive policies, and should people buy it now that only 1 month to go for it, just about 2 months to go for it? Should they buy this policy?
Well, we don't know if it's 2 months to go, right? It depends on the situation.
It's already extended.
And it may extend again. So we don't know. We'll see. But having said that, in terms of differences, so the 2 major differences in the two. The Corona coverage, for example, covers only COVID, while other policies cover everything, including COVID. So one is very narrow, one is broad. Of course, there's a difference in premiums. The second difference is that Corona Kavach has a 15-day waiting period for COVID, and typically a comprehensive policy would have a 30-day waiting period. Which one to buy, I think, is a personal choice. My personal recommendation will always be that you don't know what you're going to, fall ill with, and so if you can do so, please buy a comprehensive plan. Consider Optima Secure with the value buy options, where you get the discount, and it can be really great value for money. So I buy the comprehensive plan if you can. If you can't buy a comprehensive plan, or for example, you have some other coverage or other things, then consider the Corona coverage. And it's great coverage. People have been surprised with the amount of claims, how expensive treating COVID can be. Make sure that you're well protected. Insurance does 2 things. It gives you financial protection and gives you access to the best possible care. We've got about 12,500 places where you can get cashless access. So you get access to the best possible care. Have some coverage. Ideally, a comprehensive plan. If you don't want it or can't afford it, then Corona coverage.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Vishwanath. I hope you liked the show, and now you have fair bit understanding of how to buy a health plan for COVID coverage. So you may consider COVID-specific policies like Corona Rakshak and Corona Kavach, but it's always a better idea to go for a comprehensive health plan. And make sure that you do have consumables coverage in your health policy. To watch more such videos, keep watching Money9. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on social media channels, Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn, and also visit our website money9.com in Hindi and English. Thank you for joining me.